So I go to the doctor, I get my blood checked, and my cholesterol is through the roof. And the doctor, she's like, "Well, we need to put you on statins." And I was like, "Oh, geez." I was like, "What is that?" And it was one of those fork in the road moments where I was like, I need to make a decision, right? I'm gonna go the pharmaceutical route, or I'm gonna really decide to take my health in my own hands and try to figure it out, right? Exercise a little bit of agency, if you will. So I did some research, and I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna get on statins. I'm 24 years old at the time, and like I'm gonna be put on statins, and then obviously like there's no research doesn't conclude that statins prevent any kind of heart disease in the long run. And also at 24 years old, I was like, I'm gonna be on statins for the rest of my life. I was like, this doesn't seem like a long-term solution for me, right? And I'm of the opinion that I think any sort of disease or any illness is something that you can work and improve on, right? I don't think it's a nail in the coffin. So I looked at it as an opportunity to try to get healthy and really try to take my health back. And so, well, one of the things I began doing was obviously I try to eat better, right? Try to eat healthy, fresh everything, and try to minimally process stuff, minimal ingredients, just to kind of just not play with too many different things at the time. And then the main ones were obviously exercise, sprinting. My thing is calisthenics, so I enjoy going outside in the park. So it's a double whammy, right? I get some sun and I get fresh air, and then I'm obviously working out. So it's like perfect for me. And I don't have to worry about being in a stinky gym with fluorescent lights. It's just dealing with all that energy. So anyhow, so I did those, and my cholesterol still didn't go down. So even to this day, as we speak, it is through the roof. And I tell my doctor now, I'm like, look, buddy, like we're not gonna get on statins because the reality is it's just a genetic situation for me at this point. Like there's nothing. I've tweaked my diet several times over the years. I was vegan at one point. It did go down for a little bit, but then it just like kept going up from there. And so now, I'm back to, I wouldn't say a standard American diet, but like a healthy diet where I'm eating red meat, seafood, basically more of like a Mediterranean diet, a little bit of grains, fresh vegetables and fruits, whatever's in season, simple. Try to go organic as much as I can. And yeah, and just a lot of mineral water, a lot of espresso, staying away from seed oils at all costs. I mean, Jesus, like the amount of seed oils I see it's crazy. It's like one of those things, like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like I see it everywhere. Like I used to think, oh, it's not a big deal, right? And then I do a little bit of research into it, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, like I started reading labels of all the things I have, and then I realized I have to throw away like 80% of the stuff, right? So that made it easy as well, was like cutting out all the seed oils was probably one of the best things I ever did, because then I had to cut out anything that had it, right? Which is like granola, any packaged foods, a lot of breads, stuff like that. So you start cutting out that stuff, and it's like 80% of the junk is there already. So that makes it really a lot easier. That would be the main one. And then just staying consistent with the exercise. And like I said, you look at my cholesterol levels and you would think like, man, this guy's falling apart. Like, what am I doing wrong? But it's like, well, I mostly eat at home. So it's definitely not because I'm eating out. I'm not eating really anything unhealthy. So it leads me to believe that that's not necessarily an indicator of good health, right? For me, it's genetic. It's not something I can really do much about. There are some natural alternatives that I'm looking into, like red yeast rice. So I might play with that for a bit and see what that does to the cholesterol levels. But so far, I don't feel bad because it's like I do my sprints, I do my workouts. I worked out consistently for years, hardly a day off. So it's like, well, in terms of like the physical aspect, I think I'm good. Nothing more. I guess only time will tell, right? If I don't wake up one day, then I guess I'll know then that what I did wasn't enough and I should have jumped on the statins. But I guess by then it might be too late. All right. So I'm gonna go with my gut and I'm gonna stick with this because I don't want to go the pharmaceutical route. So if you are dealing with high cholesterol and you've done all the health protocols that you can, and even then it doesn't go up, just consider that it might be a genetic sort of genetic predisposition to just have high cholesterol. Because like I said, even when I was vegan, I had no animal intake, right? So that means no cholesterol outside of any external cholesterol from animal product. It was just all mine, and it was still through the roof even then. So it just goes to show you that it was out of my control. I couldn't do much about it. They always say lose a little bit of weight. Like, yeah, I would say I'm relatively lean. I don't think I'm really. I think I'm probably in the 1 or 2% of the U.S. population in terms of body weight. In terms of being fit, right? I look around me and I see all these people, and I'm like, none of these people have to worry about cholesterol issues, or maybe they do. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it by the way they're eating, right? Considering how meticulous and very almost Nazi like I was about the way I was eating, I didn't have much maneuverability, and even then, it didn't do much for me. But anyhow, so just a little rant, just a little story time about high cholesterol and health protocols, and